Hey guys, I'm sure a lot of you know about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge that's been going around. Um, it's about spreading awareness for ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease, by dumping ice over your head to simulate the way that the nerves and whatnot are impacted, just as it would be if you had the disease. I mean, it's supposed to kind of simulate to give you an idea. Um, Yesterday, I got nominated to make a mess for MS. And yes, MS is very important to me. My mother has it. She's been diagnosed since I was 8 years old, and it's been very difficult, and it has certainly impacted my life in a huge way. Um, I've learned from her, and I've watched her be a strong and independent individual who could be suffering in severe pain and not complain. I mean, who gets up every single day and makes sure she has a shower or bath and puts on her makeup and is always cleaned up and is always presentable and never just lays around and mopes. I mean, my mother is truly somebody that you should admire for that, and for that I give her praise every day. Um, on that note, MS is obviously very important to me. However, I think this challenge is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed watching my family members dump. I have no idea even what they had messy all over them. I mean, it was really funny to watch that. But that has absolutely nothing to do with the challenge, or I mean, with the disease, as ALS does. So first off, I'd like to say, why are we stealing the thunder? And don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm not blaming my family by any means. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that they don't get their moment. It's to raise awareness for a disease that's ill talked about, and that's totally fine. And maybe MS can have that in a month, but give ALS their moment. Because if somebody starts seeing a whole bunch of diseases and a whole bunch of like stupid videos on Facebook about the same stuff and various diseases, nobody's going to pay attention to anything. They're just going to get annoyed and stop following. Which, why would you do that? Why would you kind of clutter up everything when somebody's actually getting awareness? So, MS has nothing to do with messes, as I had previously said. So instead, I think it's important, if somebody really truly wanted to raise awareness for something, to actually talk about what is wrong. So, a brief description of what MS is. Also, it is actually called multiple sclerosis. That's the technical name. And it is a progressive autoimmune disorder where the protective coverings to nerve cells are damaged, causing diminished function in the brain and spinal column. In essence, the part of your body that keeps you healthy attacks parts important to your everyday function. My mother has lesions on her brain. That's how they find out. I mean, she initially had blindness occurring in her eyes, and she kept going to the eye doctor, and they could not figure out what was wrong for the longest time. But eventually, after MRIs and tests after tests, she had a spinal tap. They did, I'm sure, a bazillion things. I don't even remember all the things that she had to go through, but she eventually got diagnosed with MS. And I mean, like I said, every day is different. You don't know if she's going to wake up and be able to function. I mean, like, you don't know if she's going to be in extreme pain or have the blind spots again or numbness, which I'm just going to go ahead and list some things that are symptoms of MS to raise awareness. Um, I'll try not to repeat myself from the ones that I had already mentioned. So, um, there's a great severity variation of symptoms that can happen, so I'm just going to go ahead and list all of them, and you can see some of them are more severe than others. Paralysis, blindness, pain, numbness, muscle spasms, muscle loss, balance problems, dizziness, fatigue, slurred speech, diminished brain function, cognitive problems like memory loss, emotional problems like depression, hearing loss, seizures, uncontrollable shaking, breathing problems, trouble swallowing, and etc. There is no cure for MS. There's only treatment. Luckily for the majority of my mom's time, she has been in remission. I can't say that's so about everyone, and it is certainly a really terrible disease as well as ALS. I mean, I'm not discrediting either one, but they're different. They deserve to have their own moments, and I don't think it's right to steal the thunder from someone else. I don't. Um, if you're going to do something like this, you need to actually talk about what it's about, and that's what it's about. It is struggle. It is not being able to deal with hot weather because it causes a crazy like uproar in your body, or cold weather. It can be severities of weather. It can be anything. I mean, and thankfully my mother has been on some awesome medicine that they got her on pretty quickly that has helped her to be in remission for the majority of the time that she's been diagnosed. But like I said, you can't say that about everyone, and I don't know. I just don't think it's right, guys. It's not a good way to raise awareness, and I don't intend to do that challenge. I'd be happy to donate whenever, because it's better to donate than raise faulty awareness of making a mess. People don't even know what MS is. They don't even know how to say multiple sclerosis half the time. Like, yeah. So tell them, tell them what it is. So, yeah. Sorry about my rant, but I just think this is kind of stupid and ridiculous, and it's funny, but it's not supposed to be funny. So, enjoy pouring crap on yourself. But if you actually want to talk about something that matters, do something about it.